Hey Mandy, thank you for joining. We'll just give it a minute for everybody to join the live. I know a couple other of the family members were on live as well too, so I'm just going to give everybody a minute just to join on in, and I'm going to give a minute for my student to come on over. Hey Mandy, thank you for your support earlier on. Mandy, you saw how I switched it up? Hey Tkeyah, how are you? We're just giving everybody a minute. Let me get Tkeyah up here. Hold on. Ooh, Tkeyah, I'm excited for you, Tkeyah.
Hey, Dr. Johnson.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I just gotten sick like last night, so I have a bit other stuffy nose and stuff, but I'll get on camera in a second. I'm just making sure I get the kids out the door.
Okay, sure, no problem. In the meantime, I'll just keep the music going and I'll continue to send out the live to our family, okay?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. She Ready 89, thank you for your support. Thank you for always engaging with my content. Thank you for joining the live. This is Office Hours with one of my students, Tkeyah. You guys also please bear with me. I'm just trying to figure out how to, maybe I might need Tkeyah to help me to show me how to do them both screens. Hey everybody, that's just joining in. We're waiting for Tkeyah to come up on camera. She's just situating herself first, and we're just setting up the live to the rest of the, for those of you who joined, who requested to be a viewer for tonight's session. Black Girl Say Something is here. Thank you for joining. You saw how I switched it up real quick. Don't ever doubt Dr. Johnson. I'm gonna always get it done, whatever I put my mind to. Wait, what is this? I'm gonna wait till Tkeyah, I don't know how to do it. I'm gonna wait till Tkeyah come up here. So everybody, thank you for joining the live. We're just waiting for Tkeyah to situate herself. Thank you, She Ready. Thank you for the bolts. Mandy, thank you for being my moderator earlier on. Black Girl Say Something, thank you for engaging with the live earlier on. I'm just giving Tkeyah a minute just to situate herself, and then she's gonna come up on camera as well. Thank you, Kim, for engaging. Thank you, Kim, for supporting and joining the live. We have our family member here, Tkeyah. So tonight's session will be dedicated to Tkeyah, Dr. Candace Brooks. Thank you for joining. This is Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. I'm here going to be doing a consultation with one of my students who is a consistent engager and consistent supporter of my content and just of my lives overall. So I felt as though she continuously pours into me. So I want to do the same and pour into her and have a healthy, productive conversation with Tkeyah this evening. We're just giving her a minute just to situate herself, and then she's going to come up on camera. Tkeyah, you're going to have to show me how you're going to have to show me how to make the thing bigger. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for Tkeyah to join up, I have a series of questions that I'm going to be asking Tkeyah. We're going to be discussing professional goals. We're going to be discussing educational goals. We're going to be discussing what does she want to do with her social media platform now that we're all on TikTok. So I have a variety of topics that I want to discuss with Tkeyah and then also provide with her my acquired skills and knowledge. So yesterday's live was with Dr. Candace Brooke, and that was dedicated to for mental health. A previous live was dedicated to another student of mine, Mandy, where I assisted her in deciding to go back to school to get her bachelor's degree in social work. So I want to show you guys a variety of different consultations. This consultation is with Tkeyah. She's one of my top supporters. So she pours into me. So I just want to pour back into her. We're just waiting for her to situate herself on her end, and then she's gonna come up on camera. And she said 2 minutes. So okay, Tkeyah. And I love to see you guys engaging in the comments. Kim, thank you for supporting. Thank you for being here and supporting your friend Tkeyah. Mandy, thank you for being here and supporting your friend Tkeyah as well too. We're just giving her a minute to situate herself. Pri, thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Pri, I think you're new here. This is Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. This is Office Hours with Dr. Johnson, where I will be doing a variety of consultations either with students or with other professionals, either professors or other people who are doing great work in the community, where I'm inviting them to come on either for a panel discussion or for a one-on-one discussion on a variety of topics depending on what their niche is. So tonight it's going to be Tkeyah, and I want to pour into her and offer her any advice and any motivation and any resources that I can to help her get to the next step in where she wants to be. So I'm just pouring back into the community that consistently serves and supports my community of healthcare administration and my community of just building those who want to go back to school, those who want to work on their professional development, and those who want to be A1 all around. So that's what tonight's live is. Tonight's live is dedicated to Tkeyah. Thank you for following. Okay, that I have to remember to follow and unfollow and do that thing. Mandy said cooperation at its best. Thank you, Mandy. So we're just giving Tkeyah a minute to hop on the live. She is situating herself, and then she's gonna come up on camera. Thank you for those of you who are early, who have just joined in. Thank you for being here. This is a consultation for Tkeyah. We're just giving her a minute to get situated, and she's gonna come up on camera. Jacquel, thank you for joining the live again. You see how I switched it up real quick? Now it's business time now, Jacquel. It is business time, and it's business time with our family member Tkeyah. Thank you, Kim. Big business we're handling over here, Jacquel. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Is it Jacquel or Jacquel? Thank you, Kim. Thank you for the lightning bolt.
Okay, I'm going into the other room now.
Tkeyah, Tkeyah, earlier on, Jillian had invited me over to her live, and she was telling me to break it down half and half. How do I break it? How do I make it bigger?
I'm still learning live, so
Okay,
I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you, at least right now.
that's fine. But we're gonna figure it out. But I just want to make sure you're on camera because I want to see your face as well too. But obviously, if you're comfortable.
Okay, second here.
Black Girl, say something. Thank you for joining the live. I'm here. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to offer my resources, my advice, my motivation for one of our top supporters. And Tkeyah, you see who's here? Black Girl, say something. I told her that I was having a consultation with you today, and she was looking forward to this conversation as well too.
Oh, okay.
Pretty Leanie, thank you for joining the live. Okay, they told me, oh, my mom doesn't give me power to do that. Okay, so you see, look, Tkeyah, when I press expand, it does that. But I wanted to do the half and half one.
Yeah, I'm trying to look to see if I see anything real quick.
That's only for a co-host. Don't even worry about it. Thank you, Black Girl. Say something. Don't even worry about it. Okay, it's all right. Thank you. Thank you, Latoya. Can you see me? Okay, perfect. Hey, Tkeyah, how are you doing? Damn, I wish I could. I wish you can come up bigger. Damn.
It's okay.
First and foremost, how are you doing, Tkeyah?
I'm good. I'm just trying to, like I said, I had just recently got sick, so just bear with me. I got a bit of a stuffy nose and everything.
No problem. But guess what? You're still here, and that's what counts. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So first and foremost, before we jump into you, I just want to give just a brief background for the new folks that are here. This is Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. This is a new series that I started. I sat down with myself and I said, what's a good way for me to be able to pour into those who are consistently engaging with my content and consistently supporting me? So I said, let me start Office Hours. What is Office Hours? For those of you who have gone to college, you know that you meet with your professor or you go to class with your professor, and then you have the opportunity to do office hours with your professor to discuss an assignment, to discuss a test, to discuss your overall grade. So that's what office hours, that's where that stems from. So I said, hey, let me start virtual office hours. So tonight's session is going to be virtual office hours. Hey, Professor Nico, what's going on? Tonight's session is going to be virtual office hours with Tkeyah. She is a student of mine. She is one of my top engagers. I said to myself, I wanted to host these consultations, these office hours with my top supporters to pour back into them. So a little bit of background about myself. Introduction, I'm Dr. Anthony Johnson. I have a doctorate of health science where I focus on public health and higher education. And I also have a bachelor's and a master's degree, both in health services administration, where I completed a research thesis on what are some strategies to implement into healthcare facilities to alleviate nurses' burnout and maintain positive levels of emotional intelligence. So my main focus, my main research focus has always been how can we help these healthcare professionals be better themselves so that they can provide quality care overall. So even though Tkeyah's background may not be healthcare, I still just wanted to give a breakdown of me and what I got going on and who I am. So Tkeyah, first and foremost, before we get started, the questions I'm asking you, this is an unbiased, non-judgmental conversation. This is a healthy, productive conversation. I don't want you to feel as though I am downing you or making you feel less than, because that's not what this is. This is for me to kind of gain background information about you, to see how I could pour into you, to see what resources I could share with you, to see what motivation or what do you need to get you to be Tkeyah A1. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So jumping right into it, what are your overall career goals?
I well definitely in the career field, because I feel like right now I'm just sitting like in the job field. I don't feel like it's something that's gonna grow me where I want to grow. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's just something that pays the bills right now. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I want to be in the career field. Any type of, my initial one was going to be a social worker. So I started school and then I had my mini-me. Then I found out she had autism. So it was like, on top of that, I added working full-time overnight. So I'm going to school full-time. I'm working overnight full-time. And then I have a newborn. Mm-hmm. And then I have 2 other stepchildren that I take care of too. And then my husband. So it's like trying to navigate to find time for myself to do the work. But then it's like the first thing that I'm trying to also prioritize is having time for me, you know, during that time. So I tried to make it work. And it was never anything where it was like failing grades. It was just like, oh God, I missed the assignment, right, you know, right, or it's closed so I can no longer do it. And then eventually I was like, I got out of it and I thought about going back, but I don't want to rack up more student loans. Okay. Unless I have an actual plan. And the reason I like social work is because it kind of is in the realm of the things I like to do, which is helping others. Mm-hmm. Preferably other women, like from the ranges of like their teenage years going into adulthood, right, navigating, you know, your mid-20s into your 30s, and then the ones that going through menopause and like navigating like 45 plus.
Right.
So I had something called My Sister's Keeper, and it's like another thing that I tried to get off the ground while I had Nova, which is my mini me. So it was again trying to navigate that. So that was something else that I put on the back burner because it's like at the end of the day, I'm trying to pay the bills, but definitely career field where I'm helping others, and I felt like social work was the best thing for me because I'm an empath. Like I love listening to others. I love making sure to encourage others and take everyone's feelings into consideration.
Right.
But now the things that I'm doing, because I have like a whole nother side that I do. It's like again I'm giving to people. I'm giving, and I love doing that. But I'm like I want to make sure that if I go back to school, that whether it's social work or something else, that it's revolved around either helping people overall or helping people in my community, like, or 3, helping other women. And so whatever career field that will surround that and that I can be happy with, because I know that I'm always happy helping others, listening to others. So trying to navigate a career within that. And I love social work, but like I said, I don't want to rack up more student loans going back to school. So it's like, even if I can find a certification outside of school, whether I go to school or not, I just want to be able to be in a career, because I don't feel like I'm there right now. I feel like I'm just in a job, paying the bills, enjoying what I can with my family and traveling and stuff like that.
Before we continue, everybody that's joining in the live and sending gifts, thank you. I just want to acknowledge you guys sending the gifts. Nico, Kim, Black Girl Say Something for liking the live. Who else is here? Thank you. Before we continue, so thank you for sharing that, Tkeyah, just to get kind of a background of what you've been dealing with, or what kind of has been your setback. So let's say you had the opportunity to go back to school, right? Would you continue pursuing social work, or is there something else you would consider doing, or have you gave that any thought, or what does that look like?
So the most that I looked into, because of the other things that I take care of, was anything like an entrepreneur, like owning a nonprofit and navigating that. Like if I decide to go and have a nonprofit, which is still like helping others, but like literally again, just anything outside of social work, I would probably say like a mental health counselor, or I can't remember what it is. It's like a life coach.
Life coaching.
Exactly how that would go into school, because I don't really see stuff like that unless it's like a certification or something. But even like a life coach or something. But I just want to make sure that it's easy for me to talk to others and listen to others. But I feel like I want to be able to like really know what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, really be able to have the educational skills to like help pour into others. And I don't want it to just be like talking out your problems. I want to be able to like hit the mental, the physical, and financial aspects of it. So I feel like in order for me to do that, I need to lead by example.
Exactly. Okay. So question. Let's say you were to go back to school, would you be interested in doing either like a bachelor's program, or would you be interested in doing like a certification or a vocational program? What is something that Tkeyah would want to do, or is considering doing but can't really do it because of your personal setbacks? Would you look into a bachelor's program, or a certification, or a trade, or vocational? Well, what's on? Let me break that down.
So I would say, ideally, I know that anything dealing with social work and mental health is probably going to require like going the distance, and that means even including taking the test, and going to school. I would say probably for 4 years. But where I want to be at and what I'm trying to do, I'd rather have something where I can condense it down to 2 years or less.
Okay.
Like even when I was going to college, my advisor, she literally had it set up where I was like taking more, like a lot of courses, like so that way it kind of could, speed up the process. But I think in doing that, again, with a newborn, working overnight full time, and then like other family things to like travel and things like that, and just really be there, like show up for my family, show up for my friends. I want to make sure that I'm making time for still those things, but now this time around, make time for the educational side. But I think that's why I would prefer something that's 2 years or less, and whatever I can find within those 2 years or less, that is, again, those are that's what I prefer, is like the social work, mental health, life coach. But if I can find something that's still helping others and do it in like 2 years or less, and be able to still have somewhat of a like work-life balance, then that would be good too.
Okay, let me ask you something. Without saying too much or without divulging the name, could you share like what you kind of do for work? Once again, without sharing too much, or the name of the company. What area is your place of employment in?
So I work in the fraud, like I'm a fraud specialist for a bank, and I work from home.
Okay.
And then sometimes I'll get calls, like the regular type of bank calls, but preferably is what I usually do is the fraud. So I'm a fraud specialist.
Okay, question. Did you do that job because of the convenience of working from home? Yes?
Yes, and it's crazy because when I first started working from home, I did not want to do it because I just feel like, what if you have internet issues and then like they fire you because of it? But then being able to have that first week working from home, and then it's like, oh, well, I'm working overnight and then I can sleep, when I can. And then I still have time to go out with like family and friends, or maybe go out with my husband, or just have some me time, so that it's like but then the downside is like, okay, like I didn't sleep, or I'm trying to do this, that, and the third after working, because I don't never hardly go to sleep right after work. But it's definitely the convenience of working from home. So like that would be another luxury, which I know that that's a bit of a stretch, but that would be another luxury, is being able to work from home, because I can literally pack up and go with my laptop. Like if we like go to Orlando or something with the kids, I can be like, oh, okay, we can play during the day and then I can work at night.
Question, are you currently looking for a new job right now as you're still working, or are you content?
Actively.
You're actively looking for a new job. Okay. Question, when you are applying to these jobs, are you adjusting your resume, or are you just applying like?
So that's the mistake that I first made. I didn't realize, like, I thought my own resume was good enough. And then I realized that, okay, like you got to kind of like, there's certain keywords. And then it's like, I hear two different things. Sometimes I hear like, oh, well, you can use Chat GBT and like, do the keywords. And then the other thing that I usually hear is, oh, well, there's certain jobs that can like see those, like, I guess, see if it's like AI or if you use Chat GBT. So it's like, I think I've never had nobody even review my resume. I'm not like, this is probably like outside of like, that's really what I've been doing for the longest, is either anything like an office manager, like all the jobs that I've had, like, well, not all the jobs, but I don't want to sound like I have like 10,000 jobs or something. But the jobs that I've had, it's like something that I did for the first time and then I mastered it. So it's like, okay, like I started at like a coffee shop and I just was a cashier. Then they put me on the front line to pass out the food to customers, and then it was like I became a barista, then a baker, and then I became the office, like I became the manager of that establishment. And then even a tax office, I was working there in Florida, and that's really where I would probably still be at had I not moved here to Georgia. But I was working at a tax office and I was just like a personal assistant. Then I became, again, the office manager. And he had a second business, so then he put me over that other business. So I was like managing two businesses. But here it was like, okay, I've never worked for a bank before. And I just started out taking the basic calls, like take a payment, update your profile, like your personal information. And then boom, I ended up here and to being a fraud specialist. So it's like, I see that no matter where I go, I'm able to like really like pay attention and grasp the material and like really hone in on it and like grow. But I feel like I'm not happy doing that. Like I'm okay because it's like I'm working from home. I'm like the calls are slow. I can watch a show, take calls, and then still have time in the day to like spend with family, friends, and so forth. But I feel like I want a career. Like I want to do what I feel like I'm called to do, because I feel like I know what I'm called to do, and I feel like I'm stagnant. I feel like I'm not doing what I need to possibly do to get there.
Question. Well, first thing first. We mentioned resume. I'm going to send you the resume writer who critiqued my resume and edited my resume a couple years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. She's still in the business, so I'm going to personally send you a message with her first and last name on LinkedIn. That's how she accepts her clients. You can just say, "Hey, I got your information from so and so through so and so." So I wrote that down. I'm taking. If you guys see me looking down, I'm taking notes. So first, she'll send you her name and her contact information, which is on LinkedIn. So I'm going to send that to you. Second thing, you said you're in Georgia, so you're currently in Georgia still.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And do you have an active LinkedIn page?
Yes, but I have to update it. Yeah. So like I think I have it updated. I don't think I have the resume information updated.
Okay. So that's going to be something that we're going to have to work on. We're going to have to update your LinkedIn and we're going to have to update your resume.
Okay.
I'm also going to be sharing with you 5 companies who are currently hiring work from home positions that are doing similar work that you do right now. Even though this may not be what you want to do long-term wise, you could always find a job that makes more money doing the same thing you're doing now. Always be open to that. While you're still trying to transition or pivot into something else, there's always more money to be made, Tkeyah.
Right.
Do not be afraid to leave them people's job. You're just a number at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to be sharing with you 5 companies that are currently hiring fully remote jobs that are doing similar work that you're doing right now. Okay, I already kind of know what you're doing. One of my friends is doing the same thing too, but for a major credit card company, so I kind of know what you're doing. So I'm going to be sharing the LinkedIn page for the lady who does the resume building and 5 current companies who are hiring fully remote work from home positions that are doing similar work that you're currently doing, first and foremost, okay?
Okay.
Okay, next. If you were to go back to school, I'm big on school, I'm big on education, I'm big on getting a degree, I'm big on getting some type of degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a school in mind in Georgia that you would consider? And second part of the question, are you open to going in person or would you do, once again, a fully remote, fully online schooling?
So I think I've always wanted the experience of like going, well, I mean, I had it a little bit, but I feel like it depends. Like if it's somewhere like that fits, like, and it's here in Georgia, because the school that I was going to, it was in South Carolina. So it was like about an hour and like 20 minutes away. Okay. And it's just like, that would be like an extra thing I would have to add. And it was better to be online. So I think it just depends on where the school is located. Okay. And then as far as if it was anything outside of what I'm currently trying to do, I'm trying to think. Considering if I'm trying to go like either the nonprofit route or possibly owning a business, either anywhere business management or, I mean, I've done the healthcare a little bit, so I wouldn't mind that because again, it's basically helping others. Right. Let me also share something with you as well too. Let's say you decide to go to nonprofit or you decide to go to the business route. You could do that no matter what degree you got going on. No matter what degree you graduate with, you could always still be a nonprofit. Okay. I have a friend who has, her nonprofit is called the Bread Foundation. She has the same degree as mine, a doctor of health science, and she focuses on global health. Her nonprofit is in feeding needy kids. She's a professor, but her nonprofit is on feeding needy kids and doing mission trips and raising money through churches doing mission trips. That's the focus of her nonprofit, right? Yes, it's quasi similar to what she studied in her doctoral program within global health, but it's not too similar. You get me? So I think that whatever degree you get, it gotta be the same as whatever nonprofit or your nonprofit can be your passion project. The nonprofit can be your passion project. Your college degree is what's going to help you make the money. Your college degree is going to help you make the money. Yes, you can make the money with the nonprofit, but guess what? Technically, that money is not for you. That's for the cause of the nonprofit, So I just wanted to make sure we were clear on that. The college degree is for Tkeyah to make money. The nonprofit is Tkeyah's passion project. Perfect. Speaking of passion projects, okay, you did say you would want to focus on women and focus on helping. From what age range did you say? You said from teen to did you say a range? Yeah, so I was basically saying teenage into like the first, like the early 20s, because it's like navigating becoming a woman, going to school and all of those things, navigating your feelings. Right. And then like your mid years. So I would say like usually when we're coming into ourselves, it's like when we're like basically 30, like or around 30.
Right.
So like the mid years of like being a woman and navigating like the change of direction, like what I'm going through. Like, you feel like, oh, fresh out of school or even in high school, it's like, oh, I want to do this, this, and this, and this. And then it's like as you get older and then you have a family and then it's like providing for your family and wanting to do more. Now it's like, whoa, do I really want to do this? And then like even with what happened recently with me, it's like I have this new little baby on the other side. So it's like, and then people get excited. So it's like, well, I don't want that to go away either. So it's like navigating how I can basically help everybody. Right. And I know that that's sometimes a bad thing, but it's again, I want to help. Right. And then, so yeah, the mid years and then the older women. So like understanding, which I would probably need someone who knows more about that, but understanding going through like menopause, right, or dealing with loss or relationships. Some people in their older years, when the kids leave the house, they get divorced or they don't, like, they're by themselves, and or just like being around the house, like wanting to get out more. And thank God my grandmom is different. She goes out, she travels when she lost my pop-out. Mm-hmm. But there, not a lot of women are like that. Some are different. So I want to just be able to make sure that I want to have the biggest expertise about that, right, and then not have someone that I can depend on to help me with that. Right. So that's as far as my baby from my sister's keeper. But now that I have this other new baby, mm-hmm, it's like same thing. Like if I can help others, then that's the goal. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
if you just sharing that, it kind of sparked my interest, or it kind of like rung a bell for me. Public health and social work; those are two different majors, right? And mm-hmm, what you want to focus your nonprofit on, that's a health disparity. And public health covers that. Mm-hmm. Community health covers that. But community health falls under public health. There are community health degrees out there, and I want to stress to you all, don't go out there and get a degree in community health. It is under public health. But your focus is on community health. Your focus can even fall under women's reproductive health. That's a big topic right now with the government, the climate that we're in right now. That's a big topic. I would definitely suggest you look into public health. I would definitely suggest you look into social work as well, too. And you say you want to gain more expertise in what you want your passion project to be, that's social work or public health. Mm-hmm. And if you want more public health resources or more resources on health disparities, you have Black Person here, and she's a subject matter in healthcare disparities and racial disparities and how healthcare is politics. And she's going to tie it all together and teach you how healthcare is collaborative.
Yeah, because I feel like it's so easy to do the mental part of it because anybody can talk and have a conversation. You don't necessarily need a degree to motivate people. Right. But if I get into the part where I'm starting to hear like you're going through this or you're going through that, I want to be able to actually hone in on that, like give you the resources. I don't want to just be like yapping away like, oh, I hope you feel better, or, go to the doctor. I know, like, who do I go to? Who do you trust? Like with what I'm going through, I don't know who to go to.
Right.
So that's again why it's like I want to make sure that I have the knowledge outside of just talking to people.
Right. And guess what? That college degree and that working experience will give you the knowledge. Mm-hmm. Okay? Subject matter. People like subject matter experts. People like that, to see that you're knowledgeable in what you are pushing. Whatever product or whatever service or whatever foundation you're pushing, people like to. Tkeyah is well versed in this. Tkeyah has a nonprofit that's focused on helping women, or focused on the woman, or focused on the Black woman. And she has a bachelor's degree in public health, and she has a bachelor's degree in social work. Oh, she knows her stuff. Mm-hmm. She's trained. So just to answer what she said, that you want to make sure you have the expertise and the knowledge. You just don't want to be taught to talk. That college degree is going to equip you with the knowledge and skills of how to support what your passion project is. Okay, Tkeyah?
Okay.
So I don't want to force you to do nothing, but I just want to show you the importance of why education, college.
I totally agree. And that's the thing. And I felt like that for the longest. So it's like, even when it's like, oh, I want to do this, it's like I keep coming back to that with school, because I feel like, so many are not able to do something with the degree, but I just feel more like I know what I'm talking about with the degree. Like me personally, I would rather go to the person that has a degree in this, right, rather than the person that's just going off at the top of the dome,
Right. So let me ask you something. as it relates to going back to college, is the only two factors holding you back childcare possibly, or you feeling overwhelmed with all the other duties plus the financial part aspect of it? Are those the two aspects of why you haven't really pursued going back to college?
Yeah, so I would definitely say things have gotten better because, like I said, that was when she was a newborn and navigating. It's one thing to be like a stepmom or to watch other kids or other babies, but like going through pregnancy, going through like I didn't realize it at the time, but going through postpartum and not wanting to accept it, and then going through finding out she has autism and feeling guilty about that. It was a lot. So it was like, but I still want to do this. I still want to do that. I still want to show up for people.
Right.
And then it's like losing myself, like almost like the sunken place.
Right.
So for me, it's not even really Nova because she's good now, and then I'm married. So it's like we're already trying to look for like someone to help, so that way we can do more, for us or whatever. So I think it's just more so the financial aspect of it, like the fear of like wanting to make sure that I succeed, and then it's like, but I also got all these like the student loans that I want to take care of. So I feel like I'm gonna need the job so that way I can take care of the student loans, but also make sure that I'm proactive because I feel like I procrastinate a lot. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and then I don't do it. So I feel like I need like making sure that I actually stick to my guns and like, oh, I have an assignment due. I need to be able to block out that time. If I know that I work overnight, I know things are going on during the day, I need to block out that time. I need to let everybody know because I have a habit of like, oh, okay, this is going on or somebody needs this. So I'll like put it to the side because I'll be like, oh, I can just do it later. And then later is basically time for me to go to work. I'm not going to be able to study something while taking calls. Like, I got to be able to focus on it. Right. So it's really just the financial side of it. So still wanting to have a good job. And then making sure that I stop procrastinating and stop hindering myself, because I feel like sometimes when it comes to me, it'll be like, the fear, like, am I going to get this done? Because it's like, if I had it my way, I would have it overnight, but I know I can't do that. Right. But I also know I can't be in something for like a long period of time because of the things I'm trying to do. Exactly. So really, again, it's just the financial side, which is work, and then making sure that myself, that I set aside the time. Like, no matter what's going on, like, really create a schedule for myself. I can do it for others, but I need to do it for myself.
Right. And that's what it sounds like you know how to set boundaries. Are you good with, how are you with setting boundaries and setting aside time for Tkeyah? Are you good with doing that?
I can do the boundaries, I just don't. So it's like, it's easy for me to be like, hey, I need this, like, I need time. Like, I obviously did it for right now. He took the kids to my son's karate or whatever. So it's just like really actually doing it rather than being like, oh, okay, I'll do it later. Or, even there's some times where I'm just like too tired because of like where like I'm all over the, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But just again, like taking a moment, and letting people know I need that moment. So I just think it comes down to me. And then, like I said, the financial side, because I just don't want to be like getting ahead of myself again without a plan, without a schedule, and then do it again. And now I got like twice as much of student loans and then nothing to show for it.
Exactly. Right. Before we jump into the chat, those of you who are just joining in, this is Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. I'm having a consultation with one of my top students who consistently engage with me. So I wanted to pour back into her and just have a conversation, a healthy conversation with Tkeyah, to see how I can help, to see what resources I could share with her. So this is Office Hours with Dr. Johnson featuring Tkeyah. So Black Girl
came back in from the For You page.
Oh. Black Girl said something, and she said, your degree makes you marketable, Tkeyah. I want you to take note of that. Your degree makes you marketable. A degree makes you marketable, okay? A degree will make whatever product, whatever program, whatever nonprofit you want, whatever passion project you want to push, if it is relatable to your college degree, it makes you marketable. Remember that. Second thing Black Girl said was consider a self-paced program. There are many self-paced programs that are available for working mothers like yourself with the situation, okay? Don't think that it's just a traditional in-person classes or fully online, because even sometimes with those fully online courses, there's a pace that you still have to follow. but there are programs that are self-paced. So yeah, if you want to take one class, you do that one class.
And I didn't even know that. I just thought it was either online or in person.
Right.
But yeah, you're right, because that's, like I said, how I would get myself messed up is because it's like, oh, I got an assignment, I'll do it later, you know. Right. And then later comes and the assignment is already closed and I have to go to work.
Right. So I'm writing that down to a self-paced program. So far, what I want to share with you, the resume writer, I'm going to share with you her LinkedIn information so she could help you with updating your resume to be able to apply to specific jobs that you want. I'm going to be sending you 2 self-paced college programs that I know of. 2 self-paced college programs that I know of that I want you to look into. Obviously, on your own time, no pressure, not forcing you to do anything. But guess what? What you don't know, you don't know. Mm-hmm. What you don't know, you don't know. And in you, thank you for the gifts, y'all. Thank you for the gifts. And in you looking into these college programs, it may spark an interest in your head. Hey, guess what? I just see this program. I see that I could do this. Let me apply. All it takes is an application. Mm-hmm. All it takes is an application. So I'm going to be sending you resume builder, 2 self-paced college programs, and I'm also going to be connecting you with this lady who has a nonprofit. She loves to give back and talk to people in your situation who want to start a nonprofit, and your nonprofit and her nonprofit kind of is similar, so she'll be more than willing to, just give you some tips and tricks. Once again, what you don't know, you don't know. So you may talk to her and be like, hey, I didn't know this, or hey, I didn't know I could do this too. So I can connect you with her as well too. So as it relates to career-wise, you said you're looking for a job. Do you see your career being what you're doing now? Do you want to further your career in that, or do you want to further your career in something else like social work or public health or something with community involvement? So, question: the job, you said you've been actively looking for jobs. What jobs have you been actively looking for? Don't tell me the name of the company. Just tell me the position titles if you remember.
So it's just basically what's on my resume. So like office management, because I feel like if I start trying to jump into like the social work side or public health or any of those things, it's going to be again like degree. Like it's either looking for a bachelor's degree, right, or they'll say bachelor's degree preferred, and then they still go with someone else. Right. So I've just been trying to stick to what's on my resume, but again, this is just what pays the bills. This is like when I want to go with family, it's convenient. I work overnight. Mm-hmm. It doesn't get in the way of anything going on in the daytime. But when it comes to what I want to do and where I feel like I'll be more happy, it'll be with what I really want to do. And I know that requires probably getting some type of degree for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it definitely does. Okay, so you've been looking for roles that are similar to what you're doing now. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm taking notes, y'all. I'm taking notes. So I want to jump out of, I covered the college, I covered the career. Thank you for the gifts, y'all. I covered the college, I covered the career. And I don't want to hold you too long because I know you're a mom, you're a wife, you got a house, you got a lot going on, but I still wanted to offer this time for you. And this is a time slot you chose, so I don't want to hold you too long. So I'm running through this list. I got a list for you. I'm running through my list of all things I want to cover with you today. Jumping over into the content space, because content creation can be a second source of income. You know that, right? It's a yes or no. You know that, right?
Oh yes, that's literally what I'm also working on too. Because
and that's what
like I said with the other side, I'm not like, I want to make sure that that's like a organic. Like I want my newsfeed to be like people needing help, our people and stuff like that. So I'm not focused on that. But with my page, it's like learning to like build my content, and then now probably about to be into the TikTok shop. And making sure, because there's like a lot of things that I never posted, and I'm like, well, this is content worthy, but I'm going to do that more in the summertime because it would make more sense. Like, I'm not going to be like, it's wintertime and I went to Orlando, and making sure that I kind of spread it out. But yeah, I already know about that side. So it's like, well, if this is another, like when I'm going live, it's like, okay, that's a little money, So also with that, it's like trying to go live more and feel more comfortable going live. But yeah, definitely not necessarily like a full-blown, full-time content creator. I mean, that would be amazing. But as reality, the reality right now, I'm okay with like just doing enough to be another means of like a little bit of more income.
Okay, so let's jump into the content creation first. But first, I want to answer the question from Nico. Nico said to you, experience can put a degree to the side also. Okay.
Yeah.
The beginning of this conversation, I said healthy conversation, non-biased, non-judgmental, and I was already screaming, "Hey, I'm big on degree. I'm big on degree." But we have Nico over here saying, "Hey, she's big on experience. She's big on experience. She's big on experience." Okay, so let's listen to what Nico has to say. Nico said, "Experience can put a degree to the side, which it does, which it can." Speak like you know what you're talking about. I'm going to say that again.
I think that's fair because I literally got the tax office manager position because somebody I had cut off just called me one day and told me about the job.
Right.
Like they put the BS to the side and they were like, "Hey, my boss is like looking for a manager," and I'm like, "Well, I've never done that before." And he was like, "I mean, do you have anything else going on right now?" I said, "Yeah, but I mean, if it's more money, then I'll do it." And then it's like I got in there. He put me to work, and I started learning quickly. And then, boom, I became an office manager for 2 different businesses of his. So I know that part is true as far as like whether it's networking or like, yeah, you may as well say networking because that was like more of who I knew rather than what I knew.
Exactly, and you were at the right place at the right time. At them people job. And Nico also said because you do know what you're talking about, so at least get in the door. That's all you got to do. Land the interview. Ace the interview and get in the door, and everything else is going to teach you. Every job is going to be on the job training. When you're looking for these jobs, all the 10 people in this live, when you're looking at these jobs, do not let the job description intimidate you. Send in that application still.
And I think that goes back to my resume now, realizing, to like do different ones, but making sure that I have the right keywords or making sure like it sounds good enough to get, where I want to be at.
Exactly. So once again, Tkeyah, when you're looking for these jobs, do not let them job descriptions intimidate you. Do not let them job descriptions intimidate you. There's never going to be a perfect candidate that these employers will find. They'll never find a perfect candidate that matches all of the required skills or the preferred skills. Do not let the job description intimidate you.
And I think for me, it wasn't even the job description. It was like the frustration. Like I literally, like there was a day that I spent like a good amount of time, like applying, but at that time I was applying based off of what I had on my resume. So it's like now knowing all the new information, it's like, oh Lord, that's low key another extra layer because it's like now I gotta go here, switch out these words, and if I don't qualify for it, and make it sound good, which I can do. But again, it's just make sure I put the time aside to do that.
Right. Nico also said, experience is big on resumes. You can have a degree and not know how to use it. Hello. I'll repeat it again. Experience is big on a resume. You can have a degree and not know how to use the degree, or not have any experience within your major of that degree. Okay, so don't be, just because you may not have the degree right now, and I'm saying big emphasis on right now. Just because you don't have the degree right now, Tkeyah, don't let that stop you from still applying for them jobs. Okay? So I did say I wanted to pivot over into content creation. I do see when you first started to pop up on my notifications, Tkeyah, it was just the face. I never saw your content. I never saw you going live, but you were always in the live. You were always engaging with the content. So, question to you. Now that you've kind of, did you join the agency as well through Anna and Jimmy?
No, because I don't want to, again, I don't want to waste nobody's time because I just know, like, I love Jillian, but I know that when it comes to, like, that side, like, I can just feel that aura of, like, someone who, like, when you get in there, it's going to be business. Like, we can hee ha ha, but when you're in the agency, you probably got to post a certain amount of time. You got to do a certain amount of work. Right. And I know right now I have the content, but it's like me posting it. And it's not even me posting it. It's me taking the time to try to edit it. And, like, what's going to make it go viral? So it's, like, me having to think about all those things is why it'd be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow or I'll do it later, But now I'm trying to do a little more consistent. Like, obviously, a lot of people knew I went to Dubai. So now it's like each day. I'm not trying to be one of the people that's posting 3 times a day, but I'm at least trying to commit to doing it, like, once a day. Like, building my content, growing my content. And eventually, maybe I will consider an agency. But I think right now, I'm just focused on, like, growing my account, engaging, and then on the other side of things, which is a little more important to me, is, like, the career and the financial aspect of, like, that side.
Okay, so let me jump into the question. What type of content that you do want to do, and at the pace that you want to go, what type of content do you want to create? What do you want your niche to be?
So I feel like I don't want to say lifestyle, but I just feel like it's me and traveling. Like we always travel. I'm
Okay.
always with my kids. Like I'm always going places and finding new things. Like I left Dubai, for example, and literally some of the places that I went, there was so much more to do, and I didn't even realize it. And even for kids, so I feel like making sure like I'm telling others, like I didn't even know that when you go to Dubai, I forget what it's called, but basically like it's something with the tax. Like if you pay in like their money, then when you go back to
Get that after the airport.
yeah, and I didn't know about that. But then it's like I found out. But then they added, oh, you have to have your like you got to show your passport when you're paying for, But again, it's just more so travel, being a mommy who has an autistic child, and like I know that I'll have another community on that side, as far as other mommies navigating that. So, and then I know that if I get into the TikTok shop, then my stuff will be able to be like everything that I'm trying to do as a mom or travel. So I know I could easily do like content where all of those things are included. I could do travel and then something from the TikTok shop I could be wearing and like putting it on, like, get ready with me and then, put on the outfit and then we're traveling and then probably on the way you're going to see things that's also in the TikTok shop that I use for my kids while we're flying, or handling my mini me who has autism, So I know I can combine all those things for it to make sense. But again, I think it's just me being consistent and making sure that I post.
Tkeyah, hold on. I want to jump back into the comments because they still lighten you up. Jaquel said that her mom has been in medical billing for years. But she has experience. Hold on, I think she said something about, and she does not have a degree. Do you hear that? Years of
I've seen those. I think under certifications like medical billing and coding,
right?
So like those things, I wouldn't mind to do those kind of things. I mean, it's not the ultimate of what I want to do with helping people, but it's still like helping. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, jumping back over into your content creation space, Nico said, create a schedule, go by the hour. If that's too much, go by 30-minute intervals.
And that's so funny because I just did that like yesterday. Like I was like Monday, like when to post, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and like doing like taking little notes. So like when it's a slow night at work, outside of engaging, I'm going back to like the creator search insight. I'm trying to get info and then I use that. So like even the video that I posted recently, I did that. I went through creator search. I used some better hashtags. I tried to look for the videos that are actually like ranking up, like, that are growing popular on TikTok and making sure that I kind of revolve whatever I'm talking about around that.
Right. I want to jump into another question. What have you've grown on TikTok and obviously being with Anna and being in the family, you've engaged a lot more and built your own community, right? What have you learned on TikTok overall? Navigating on TikTok, what has Tkeyah learned?
That they're not lying when it comes to engagement, because engagement is literally the word. You're engaging with others. You're communicating. You're, basically creating a community when you're like engaging. Like I could like scroll and somebody said something funny and then they say something funny back. And then it's like, they're liking my stuff and then I like their stuff. Now what? They could probably inbox you. And then it's like, oh, we're laughing. And then it's like, you'll probably end up talking to this person. And then it's like finding out more about them. Like literally somebody in the family, I found out literally stays like probably 15, 20 minutes away from me.
Wow, okay.
So you know what I mean? So it's like engagement is literally the key word because again, I wasn't really on TikTok other than to like post a couple videos here and there. But really just to like, when I'm bored and scroll. And then it was like Hillman Top came. So as a person who wanted to go back to school, I'm like, ooh, this is exciting. It made me feel excited. It made me feel like, oh, I didn't get the HBCU experience. I'm going to get it now. You know what I mean? And then like those things went downhill. And so it's like, but I still wanted to like be encouraged. And then it's like, I'm seeing somebody else not be as encouraged, which was Anna at the time. And then it's like, well, let me love on her. And then it's like, in doing so, now that's a new friend. And then it's like, we have a group now. You know what I mean? So it's just that simple. Like, as I started doing that, as I started engaging more, then it's like, oh, I meet these people from like the Hillman Talk stuff. And then it's like we follow each other. Oh, we agree with the same things. And then it's like, again, we're growing. And then it's like, this person has knowledge about this. I have knowledge about something else. This person has knowledge about something else. Oh, we're networking. So like, oh, you have this business. Well, I need help with this, or I don't feel too good about doing this. I feel nervous. No, do it. And we're like motivating each other. And then it's like other people see that they latch on, so the community grows. And then when the community grows, now it's like more people. And then it's like, oh, well, hey, I see that you're trying to grow your followers. So like someone like Hannah, she'll send you to someone who's not going to have a bunch of bots, where you got those fake accounts and stuff. You're going to have people who will actually follow. I have people who just followed me for the first time and they started engaging. And this is like over a span from January until now, where I literally barely had any followers. And now it's like I'm close to 1,000. Right. And in doing so, it's like, well, I want to give the love back, because it's like that doesn't come easy, So I think that's the overall word, is literally like, you think it's community, but that community will come with the engagement. Engagement is the word. And it doesn't matter where you're doing the bottom up method or you find your community, whether I found the Hillman Talk people or I found like other moms dealing with a kid that has autism. It doesn't matter. It's just the fact that you engaged and like you went from there. You just started going from there.
Right. Thank you for sharing that. That was great experience. For the 10 people who are on here, they're all clapping and saying so true, so true, so true. So thank you for sharing that, Tkeyah. I promise you this live will be an hour. I know you're very busy. You got a lot of things going on. But before I let you go, I just want to send you off with some words of encouragement. You mentioned engagement, and I'm doing this for you because you're one of my top engagers, and you're consistently pouring into me. So I want to meet with you to pour into you as well too. Let me just see who's on this live, because I don't be with all that rah that some folks be on. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So the other day when you was going through what you was going through, when you were just, sending things to other people, and, you may not have felt as though that was being reciprocated back to you, and you got kind of emotional. Yes, TikTok likes transparency. Yes, TikTok likes vulnerability, but don't ever let nobody get you to that point again, to feel, okay?
And I think when that happened, it literally, like, I think I needed that, because it was like, I was like, any other time I'm overwhelmed, I'm able to be like, oh, I'll watch a show and I'll be good. I work overnight. So it's like, oh, I'll watch a show and then boop, I forget about it, But I think it was just like who it was and how it happened. And then it's like, I'm trying to like, not say who I am, but I'm trying to let you know, like, hey, this is like a student, And I feel like when you still kind of take it upon yourself to like not care, then it just kind of hit home for me, because it's like, wow, like, I've seen it before, but again, it just surprises you, because it's like, I know better with those things. But again, it still will surprise you when somebody's like whole demeanor changes and you're like, whoa, you're not who I thought you were. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of glad it happened, because then it's like, I didn't feel so bad after I found out it happened with another person.
Okay, that was going to be my next thing too. I was going to say, I'm glad that you said that you're glad it happened, because this is a part of life. We go through things and we go through trials and tribulations in this life that we each have. So that obviously is not the first, and it won't be the last. So just know, I just want you to know how to handle yourself accordingly. I just want you to know how to be self-aware. I want you to know how to be emotionally intelligent. This is still the internet. Yes, you're building a community. Yes, you have built sisterhood. But guess what? You have to make sure you're protecting yourself too. Don't let anybody or anything drag you to that point again, okay? I see what type of person you are. You're very pure, and you want to give into people and pour into people. Just make sure your cup never gets empty. And last week or the week before, your cup was empty, and that's why you felt that low. Okay, the devil will work hard, but somebody else works harder, okay?
And I think, and I totally agree with that, because it's like, again, it's like, and then there's some people that they did that even outside of that situation. It not to the extent where it broke me down, but just the extent of like that frustration. Like, I'm trying to talk about something, and people always feel like they want to silence you. And I used to be like that. I used to be real quiet. Like, I've always been a goofball, but like sometimes I would be a little more timid. And then like me getting older and me seeing things and going through things, it's like, no, like, I'm gonna say what I have to say. And like, if you're a real friend or you're a real family member or you really care about me, then it shouldn't bother you that much. You should understand that I'm just telling you how I feel.
Right.
And I've been doing that more lately, where it's like you're not going to talk to me crazy. If I feel like something and I know something is wrong,
Right.
I'm going to say it's wrong.
Right. And look, Black Girl said something in the live. She said, "Don't be silenced." And guess what? If I'm gonna be honest with you, TikTok love a good crash out. TikTok,
Yeah.
TikTok love a good crash out. So if you want to talk, if you want to, talk your stuff. I don't want to curse. If you want to talk your stuff and pop your stuff, pop it. Sometimes, like I always tell people, you got to remind people why you don't play with me.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remind people why you don't play with me. Pop out of your character one moment and then hop back into the Tkeyah that we all know and love, okay?
Okay.
So it's been 1 hour. I told Tkeyah that I was just going to have a quick, brief session with Tkeyah just to pour into her and pour in some support, pour in some motivation, and pour in the resources. So after I end this live, I'm going to be sharing with Tkeyah, a lady who does resume building and resume revisions. She personally did mine 4 to 5 years ago, so I'm sharing a personal contact with Tkeyah. I'm also going to be sharing 2 different college programs with Tkeyah that are self-paced. She can go on her own throughout the whole program. There are 2 self-paced college programs that I want Tkeyah to look into. I'm also going to be sharing with Tkeyah 5 companies that are currently hiring fully remote positions that she is currently working in right now. This is a point of me meeting with students who are top engagers and top supporters of me. I'm pouring into them. So Tkeyah, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. I hope you feel motivated. I hope you use these resources I'm going to share with you to continue to be great. Okay, Tkeyah?
Thank you.
Okay, let me drop you down so you can...
Wait.
Sorry.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Tkeyah. Thank you so much, Tkeyah. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let me drop you down so you have your points, okay?
Okay, bye, everybody. Thank you.
Look out for my message. I'll be sending you some information, okay?
Okay.
Okay, have a good night.
Bye.
So once again, you guys, thank you for joining Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. I gotta go finish helping my sister paint. You guys saw me doing that pink wall to black wall. I gotta go finish doing that. So I'll be back again on live tonight at 10 p.m. with a speaker this time. It won't be a student, it will be a speaker. So thank you so much for all of you who joined the live. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for supporting Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. I'll see you guys 10 p.m. Eastern time. Have a good night.